So since legalization hit Massachusetts, homegrown herb has been on the rise. Customers can now say the word bong, and hemp-derived edibles are everywhere. But a new bill passed by the House could soon shake things up.
Some breaking news up on Beacon Hill. House lawmakers just approved a bill that would make significant changes to the state's marijuana industry, including going after products that currently skirt regulations.
Yeah, the bill proposes a ban on intoxicating hemp products like hemp-based beverages that are not registered with or regulated by the state. It would also restructure the embattled Cannabis Control Commission, reducing the number of commissioners and giving the governor the sole power to appoint them. Finally, it would increase the number of licenses any individual or business can hold from 3 right now to 6. The bill still needs approval from the Senate and be signed by the governor.
So this is something that'll be really interesting to see how it progresses, and especially if the governor actually signs this into law. But what this bill is aiming to do is ban a lot of those hemp products that are not registered with the state. Now, what is pretty interesting is that this bill will also reduce the number of cannabis control members that are on that board, which may be a good thing. Less cooks in the kitchen, less problems to arise. But it'll also double the amount of licenses that any business can hold from 3 to 6. So that may be a good thing. Now, if you're over in Massachusetts, things are probably pretty good, especially when it comes to home grows. I got some homies out there who are growing some absolute fire. But this is nothing new, because back in 2016, the provisions for home use and cultivation actually went into effect on December 15th. And since then, home grows have been exploding. Have a look at this clip from just 2 years after they legalized.
Well, tonight, sales are on hold, and now word that more changes could be coming to legalize marijuana in Massachusetts. The Senate president says the legislature will consider a higher tax rate on marijuana sales, as well as reducing the number of plants per household. Right now, it's legal to have 12 plants in your home. The governor has already delayed the opening of pot shops in our state by 6 months. That means the opening of legal pot shops here is at least a year and a half away. Some people, though, are finding a way to get it by growing it themselves.
Yeah, that became legal last month. You can do it at your house, and many stores specializing in indoor gardening are booming right now.
This here is an environment for growing plants.
Sales of these indoor greenhouses are brisk at Harvest Moon Hydroponics in Foxborough, and they'll fit almost everywhere.
Basements, bedrooms, large walk-in closets.
Aaron Vogue owns the 11-year-old business. The lights, climate-controlling fans, potting soil, and fertilizer are staples for indoor growers.
From vegetables to orchids, ornamentals.
When the new recreational marijuana law allowing individuals to grow plants went into effect, Aaron's business got its own boost.
I would say at least a 20% jump the first day, and hasn't abated.
Certainly people were growing pot before it was legal, but now Vogue says he's seeing more customers and a wider age range of people who want to grow their own.
Now people can have adult conversations about an adult thing.
But nothing is certain. Since marijuana is still illegal at the federal level, the incoming Trump administration could crack down on state laws.
I would hope that Mr. Trump and his cabinet stand by their states' rights stance on most things, but there are no guarantees where that's concerned.
Now, that clip was literally from 8 years back. That's before President Trump's first term, and thankfully President Trump signed the Farm Bill, or aka the Hemp Bill, into law, and that's helped a lot of people get some brand new genetics and also just get started on their home gardens. Now, you guys may have heard in that clip some talk about cutting the plant limits down in Massachusetts. That's something that was discussed when that clip aired 8 years ago. But bringing it up to modern day, in Massachusetts there are still plant limits, and according to this, individuals aged 21 and older can grow up to 6 plants in their primary residence, but residences with more than one person, the maximum number of plants is 12. So if you're over in Mass and you got someone that you're living with, then you can grow 12, but if you're by yourself, then the limit is 6. Now, just a quick reminder, guys, if you're getting value from this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us further, join the ICANN VIP Bean Club or just shop some merch from our merch store. Now, regardless of what you guys think about plant limits, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, whether it should be there or it should not be there, one thing that is pretty crazy is a law that was in place back in Massachusetts where the word bong could get you in trouble. But ever since they legalized, customers are now free to say the word bong.
Recreational marijuana in Massachusetts is now legal. What does that mean? Well, it certainly doesn't mean that you can just light up and walk down the street. WBZ's Beth Germano is live at the State House tonight with all the details you need to know about this new law, and there seems to be a lot of confusion. Beth?
And there is, David, because you can possess it, you can use it, you can even home grow it, but you still can't legally buy marijuana in Massachusetts just yet without a doctor's prescription. But for some, this new law is new freedom of speech.
This is some high-end glass, specific artists.
Looking at these pipes in Brian Such's Alston store, there's a new vocabulary that can be spoken out loud.
Customers can say bong, and they can discuss what they're actually putting in the pipe.
Until today, smoking marijuana was illegal in the state, and Such took the restricted language seriously to keep his smoke shop buried treasures in business for so long.
It just wasn't discussed. It wasn't discussed, and if it was brought up, you were asked to leave.
But now Massachusetts residents can possess 10 ounces of marijuana at home, 1 ounce in public, and grow 6 plants per adult at home up to 12. It's still illegal to sell marijuana and smoke it in public.
People are really excited that they're able to grow their own.
At the Grow Your Own store in Cambridge today, business was booming and free seeds were being handed out, mindful of the fact pot shops won't open for legal sale for another year.
There still is a little bit of a stigma associated with it, but that's fading. People are they're kind of coming out of the closet, if you will, from the grow closet.
Still, there's concern about legal gray areas for law enforcement, and today Governor Baker said he'd support a reasonable delay in the legal sale of marijuana if the legislature sought it.
On the public safety piece and the public health thing, I think there are legitimate concerns and issues that have been raised by many people. The details obviously matter on that.
For now, Brian Such doesn't see a new budding marijuana business just yet.
I think that everybody who smokes already smokes. There's not a big population that's going to go out there and try. There's going to be a small amount of people who will try it.
That clip that you guys just saw is about 8 years old, and the governor that you guys just saw in that clip is no longer the governor of Massachusetts. But nonetheless, that clip conveyed the message really well. A lot of customers were not allowed to say the word bong over in Massachusetts or in some of those illegal states for fear that the DEA will get them in trouble. And according to this, previously to avoid trouble with law enforcement, especially the DEA, some head shops restricted the use of certain terms like the word bong. And according to Worcester Magazine and this article, which was published literally back in 2022, outside of some stores, example this one in North Carolina, there's a sign posted up on the door that says, "Do not say the B word, you will be asked to leave." So it's pretty crazy, but it's clear to see that these are some of the levels that people have to go to in Prohibition land just to have some of these products sold. Because you gotta think about it, everything sold in those shops should be sold for tobacco use, and bong is a word that's often associated with the good herb. And if the good herb is illegal in your state, then maybe that may be deemed paraphernalia and you can land yourself in trouble. But since legalization, the word bong will no longer land you in hot water. But what can land you in hot water is if this bill passes and a lot of people have edibles, you can find yourself in trouble. So digging down into this article, the Massachusetts House bill takes aim at hemp edibles, but enforcement gaps could remain. And I quote, "The House passed a cannabis bill last week that will permit intoxicating hemp-derived beverages to be sold in licensed Massachusetts liquor stores while ordering edible intoxicating hemp-derived products like gummies off of the store shelves. But critics say that the legislation fails to address the core problem of enforcement at the local level." Now what they're saying is that the intoxicating hemp-derived edible products have the same active ingredient as the good herb, but they're not subject to any oversight by the State Cannabis Control Commission. The sales of hemp products have proliferated across the state because of the federal loophole that defines hemp differently from cannabis, aka in the Farm Bill. Now what this bill does that's pretty interesting is that it explicitly makes hemp-derived edible products illegal in the state while allowing hemp-derived beverages to be sold in licensed liquor stores. And this takes us back to something that we discussed quite a few times already, where you guys see big alcohol but also big pharma trying to get in on the cannabis industry because the cannabis industry is actually eating into their profits. A lot of people who actually consume the good herb do not consume a whole ton of alcohol or do not consume a whole ton of pills from big pharma. So it's pretty interesting to me that they're banning all edibles, but they are allowing hemp-derived beverages to be sold in licensed liquor stores under supervision of the Cannabis Control Commission. So it seems to me that a lot of states, whether it's red states or blue states, are trying to regulate the hemp industry, and that's something that some people are pushing back on. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear a little bit more about this bill and what people think.
I'm Boston 25 News reporter Alyssa Azara outside of the State House, where the House unanimously passed a bill this week to change and update cannabis laws in Massachusetts. Now, those pushing for it say it would modernize the state's priorities and policies to be more in line with surrounding states and keep some businesses from closing.
We'd love it to become law next week, but I don't know if that's realistic.
The bill, called an act modernizing the Commonwealth's cannabis laws, would make it so companies can grow from 3 to 6 stores over a 3-year period, something Brandon Pollock, the CEO of Theory Wellness, would like to see happen.
This would allow a lot of growth for our team and some opportunities for some new business.
Those pushing for the bill to become law say it will help companies make more money and also bring more investors into the state.
I know a lot of entrepreneurs who want to sell, but I can't buy them because we are at our limit of stores. And then companies like Theory want to grow, but we can't grow because we're at our limit of stores.
In addition to increasing the license cap, the Massachusetts Cannabis Coalition says consumers would be able to purchase more, upping the limit of product from 1 ounce to 2.
Dispensaries will really benefit from changes like that.
The executive director of the Cannabis Coalition, Ryan Dominguez, says another big possible change would be to the CCC, or the Cannabis Control Commission.
This change will move the commission from 5 commissioners to 3 commissioners, and then all of those commissioners will now be appointed by the governor.
The CCC works to implement and administer laws surrounding marijuana in the state. Dominguez says having the CCC solely under the governor could help define its roles and responsibilities.
I think that we're starting to see that commissioners are coming up on their terms, and if they don't act quickly, we can be in a position where the Cannabis Control Commission is down to 2 commissioners without a chair, and then there's no way for us to really operate our businesses or get any of the changes that we're looking for.
Opponents of the bill have warned that if the state allows certain operators to grow even more, it could hurt small or equity-owned businesses. Now it's up to the Senate to pick up the current bill, revise it, or they could delay picking up the bill altogether.
So you guys can see these are some important changes that are being made, and some of these changes could affect a lot of businesses, whether you're a large business or a small business. And what they're trying to do is protect some of those smaller businesses, some of the mom and pop shops that don't have tons of backing financially. They want to make sure that they have a chance to survive in this industry. But let me know what you guys think about that. I'm really interested to find out what you guys got to say. And if you guys are in Massachusetts, drop in the comments down below and let me know how you guys are feeling about this. Now, you guys may have missed it if you're living under a rock, but over in LA there are some riots, and in those riots some weed stores got completely looted, and it's absolutely crazy. So have a look at that video. All you got to do is click on it because it's coming up right now.